What's up, Stampers? It is Amy Rich, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, here today to introduce you, and I'm sure you've seen it already, so it's probably not a major introduction for you, but it's the first time we're going to look at it together, the Stampin' Positioner, which I am super excited about because that was a gap in our offerings, and now that gap has been taken care of with a beautiful new product that I think you're going to fall in love with. If you already have a Stampin' Positioner, you will learn perhaps something that you can do with your own Stampin' Positioner. But this new one is the bomb, and I can't wait to share just one little technique that you can do with it. I've been playing around with it, and it's really fun. I am thoroughly enjoying. So, hello, Louisville, Kentucky. Do you say Louisville or Louisville? Up here in the Midwest, we say Louisville, Kentucky. I'm guessing you maybe say Louisville, but I don't have the accent, so it probably doesn't matter how I say it because it's going to be what it is. It's like when we used to live in Alaska, and we were saying, or I was saying Oregon, that quickly was chased away because it is Oregon, and it's easier to say, in my opinion. Louisville. Okay. All right. Very good. Welcome to everybody who is watching live or later, because we are here at an odd time and an odd day. So it's a little bit different. Hi, Kathy. Good to see you. It's a little bit different because I am substitute teaching all week in grades 7 and 8, which is an interesting grade level. Love, love, love the kids. I think they're amazing, at least in our Lutheran school where I substitute teach. And they're spunky, though. So I'm exhausted. You know, you spend all day with kids, and it is downright exhausting. But we are here tonight for our special Tuesday night episode of What's Up, Stampers. And we're checking out the new Stampin' Positioner. And then I'm going to let you go so that you can go get ready for the Olympics, because there are only a few short days left of those. So we want to get every minute of it, at least I do, want to get every minute of it in that I can. So we're going to talk about the Stampin' Positioner, but we also need to talk about how you can get it. So right now, anyone who purchases the starter kit and joins the demonstrator family will receive the Stampin' Positioner for free. And that is a fantastic deal because it will retail when it sells at $50. So it's a really good deal when you can get it for free. So for just $99, you receive $25 in product, your choice. And then also this free $50 Stampin' Positioner. And so just do the math. It's a lot of product for only $99. And it's awesome. And some people think being called a demonstrator plugs you into doing things like I do, or holding classes, or this and that and the other thing. But my team members who are here watching will tell you that's not at all what it has to be. Being a demonstrator just gives you perks that other people do not have. And you can use your demonstratorship simply to get the discount. And what I love is, like, tomorrow starts free shipping. So tomorrow through Friday, with a $75 order, you can receive free shipping on your order, which is awesome. But we demonstrators get that on top of our discount. So I call it discount on top of discount. So we get the discount that we receive as demonstrators, and the $75 that we have to meet comes before that discount. So we are getting a super good deal on it, plus the free shipping. I mean, it's awesome. So if you're interested or have any questions, please feel free to ask tonight here in the thread if you would like. Or you can message me directly, and I will answer whatever questions you have to the best of my ability, which usually I know the answer. Other times I know where to look. So we can get through that together. All right, so let's take a look at that Stampin' Positioner. I know people have been excited about it, sharing it on other platforms with other demonstrators and so forth. But you see here, oh, and by the way, it is super lightweight. Like it barely weighs anything. And I love that. That's an easy sell point for me because I don't know. I like that I don't have to lug it around if I'm going to take it on retreats and so forth. Here is the plate. You can use either side, I think. No, you can't. You have to just use the one side. I hadn't tested that before. That's like the one thing I didn't check out before I came on here. But it has springs in it so that when you put your stamp on the positioner, then you can... Hi, Joyce! Oh, I'm so glad you're in Florida. You can spring that into action to stamp your stamp. The other thing I really like about this one is that it comes with a skinny plate that you can use for different techniques. And I'm not going to bring that one out or talk much about that today, but it fits across, I think it's 2 sections, and then it's skinny, and then you can just use it to repetitive stamp or for a skinny sentiment or something that you want to just not use this clunky, the bigger one. So lots of different options, and I'm sure you're going to see all kinds of different techniques and different things you can do with the new positioner. So go out and watch those so you can see all of the amazing things. It does have measurements and markings across the top and the side. However, we also do have, or will come available, is the grid paper that fits on here. And then you can have all the different markings. And I will show you with this technique that we're going to do today, why this could be of benefit. Hi, Christine. Great to have you over there down there in Australia. All right, so the magnets are the other really amazing thing that I love. Remember the last magnets we have were those bar ones, and if they clunked together, they would often break. And now we've got these great tabbed magnets, and you know what else? They're super strong, but they're really, really light. So they're easy to use. If you clunk them together, they're not going to break. And they have the tabs on them so that they're easy to grab and move. And we'll be doing quite a bit of that tonight as we create. So there are 2 sides to these magnets. And you can see the strip across here. That's the bottom side in my humble opinion. And then when you can see just a strip of the magnet, that's the side I use. I don't know if there's a stronger side or a weaker side, but that's going to be the side easier to grab with the tabs. So thank you, Stacy. I know it's very exciting, and I love the fact that I can share that with you and you celebrate with me. That $700,000 in sales came recently, and just being able to, like I said, celebrate that with all of you is super fun for me. So thank you for allowing me to do that. All right, so we're going to take a look at one technique this can do. And first I'm going to bring in my grid paper, and notice across the top here, it's got all these little spots, and that's where your grid paper slides onto. So all those little notches there, that's where it goes. And then you can see that I have drawn 2 3-inch squares on here, one of which is straight on and one of which is on point. And we're going to be using those 2 markings to keep track of where our paper is going to go. So I'm going to bring in a piece of basic white cardstock that is that size of 3 by 3. And then I'm going to use my magnets to keep that down. And when I do that now, I'm going to use the Greenery Lane stamp set. I am also going to use the washi tape with which it coordinates. These products are in the January to April 2026 mini catalog, and they are not sold together in a bundle, but on facing pages. So you will be able to see those together. The stamp set also have dies that coordinate. So you can use all of these products together. The dies cut out the washi tape, and also cut out the stamps, and has a bonus die here as well. That is just a really cool looking leaf. It is really awesome. And then the rest of them have images that you can stamp and cut out. And I'm in love with this bundle, and I think the washi tape edition is so much fun. So we're going to use both. We're going to use the washi tape, or we're going to use the stamps. We're not going to use the dies tonight. So I'm going to bring in the stamps, and I'm going to grab this one right here. And I'm going to put this on my paper like that. And then when we are ready to use the Stampin' Positioner, now we're going to put this into place. So there are 2 notches up here, which have springs. And then these 2 here have springs. Now let me show you the difference. So I'm going to pull this up. Note that the top springs are here, and the bottom springs are actually on the plate itself. So the springs are coming at you from 2 different places, which makes it a little more sturdy, in my opinion. Then you're not going to like break a notch off and then not be able to use it or something like that. Okay, so then you push it onto the stamp and lift the stamp. Now, you notice it did move the paper a little bit, and that's because I didn't have any ink on there quite yet. When there is ink on there, it won't stick like that. So I'm just going to put this back in place, and then I am going to take the Lost Lagoon ink, and I'm going to ink up. This is a great, this would be a great use for Stampin' Spots. If you keep the spots from the paper pumpkin, or you have the uninked Stampin' Spots that you ink with some of our colors, then, excuse me, then it's really easy to just ink up small stamps like this. I did not take the time to go search for the colors that I wanted. All right, so then we're going to turn the paper at, I don't know, is that 40 degrees, 45 degrees? I don't know, whatever. One turn. And then we're going to go through it all over again. Put it down and turn the paper again. Now you're wondering, what is happening? What are we doing? Well, we are creating a wreath with our leaf stamps. Oops. I did that one twice. What am I doing? I'm talking and trying to work at the same time. That's okay. It's nice and bold and dark then. I like it. That's the other thing about using a Stampin' Positioner. If you wanted a darker image on your leaf, you could stamp it, and maybe I do. Maybe I do. And then ink it and stamp it again, and it's going to go exactly to the right spot to do it again. And I do love that about Stampin' Positioners. And this one is just, I'm starting to fall in love. It's easy to do with something new, but the more I play with it, the more I'm like, yep, I'm going to really like it a lot. Okay, so this was a good idea, actually, because it's nice and dark. All right, so flipping, turning, doing this one again. Hopefully I get it lined up generally in the same place. How is everybody doing out there? It's been really nice temps here in the Midwest, and we're settling in for a little. We're having internet issues again, so hopefully we can make it through. Now, does this blow your mind? I bought a couple new Stampin' Chamois, and I love the Stampin' Chamois for a job like this because I can take it, rub it, clean it off, and then it's ready. The stamp is ready to get put away for the next. All right, so put that away, and then there is a filler stamp right here that we are going to take, and we're going to do filler next. Okay, so we'll put this back. We're going to set our filler where we want it, and it's sticking to my fingers. So just got to adjust. Now when we do the filler stamp, it's going to be in the exact right spot every time we stamp it on a new set of leaves, because we have everything, that paper in place, and it's just going to stamp it in the right place. Okay, now here's what we're going to do. Those we stamped twice. These we're going to stamp only once, so it's a little bit lighter. That was kind of a happy accident. I had another plan in place, but that was a very happy accident to do it that way. So because we have a little bit lighter look now, we can see both the outline and the inside. So with each time we stamp, then we're going to turn it 45 degrees for the next, get it, the next one ready to go. Oh, we've already done that one. Hello. Pay attention, Amy. I caught it. It was touch and go though for a minute. Back a few years ago, and I don't remember what year that was, I did a series of videos on our old positioner, the Stamparatus. You can find those in the Reels section of my Facebook page. Candace, yay! I'm excited for you. They're fun. It's really fun. You can use the same idea for this particular stamp positioner. And actually, I'm going to leave that right there. Using this Stampin' Positioner. So you can go check those out. It's a series of 7. And I don't know, they're pretty fun. You might learn a little something. Now, there are other techniques that are really amazing to use with the Stampin' Positioner. I just watched one today that was for, what's it called? Mirror stamping. And that was really cool too. So there are all kinds of things that you can do. All right, now for this one, we are going to switch color. We're going to go with Garden Green. Why did I choose Lost Lagoon and Garden Green for my colors on this? Because those are the colors in the washi tape. So it makes it really easy to do a color combo when the colors are kind of chosen for you. But we've got the Garden Green here now, and we're going to take a different leaf and we're going to stamp this around. Now, here's where I'm going to show you if you use the other marking, and I'm not going to actually do it, but you could go 8 around instead of just 4. So you could go there, and then you could go there like we're going to do next, and then you can go there, and there. It would just give you more leaves around our little circle here, for lack of a better. It's not really a circle, but we are stamping these in a circle so that we can have a wreath type look. Sherry, hello. Great to have you. We are just playing around with the brand new Stampin' Positioner. Remember that you can, or you will, receive the Stampin' Positioner free if you were to purchase the Demonstrator Starter Kit right now through March. I think it's March 2nd. So, awesome deal. Amazing new product. It will not be available for sale for a while. We haven't been told a date on that, but just know that it might not be super soon. But all right, now I'm also going to add, oh, is it going to ruin it if I do that? It might. I better wait. I better wait. I was going to put another set of those leaves on there, but I'm nervous that it'll be too much. Okay, so here we go now with the next step, which is the inside of the leaf. And again, because it has no ink, it sticks to the paper. The photopolymer tends to do that. So we'll get that relined up. Now this time, I'm going to bring in a piece of grid paper, and I'm going to stamp it off first, and then get that lined up nice and pretty. It's so amazing, people. The last part that I'm going to do to fill in space and to make it even more awesome is to add flowers to our wreath. Now, because the flowers are tiny and I'm not super picky about where those go, I'm just going to stamp those in, and then you won't, hi Lori, glad you popped on. Then you won't have to sit here watching me use the Stampin' Positioner for every flower as well. Sometimes you can do overkill if you're using the positioner. Like, it's okay to be imperfect sometimes. This particular technique, though, it makes it so easy to stamp all of these in a circle. All right, so, oops, one more. Did I stamp one twice? I wasn't even paying attention. It's what a long day as a substitute teacher will do to the brain. It gets a little wiry. And I have a set of swaps to make tonight, so I'm like, I gotta keep going. But I'll do it in front of the TV and watch the Olympics at the same time. All right, so, ta-da! That was super fun, my friends. Stamping my, all of my leaves here in a perfect circle. And then we'll grab our crushed curry. We're going to use crushed curry. I liked that color combo. So we're going to do that with our little flower. There's a double flower, and then there's a single. I'm going to use the single for this. And I'm just going to fill in some space here to add color, which I think pops of color are always welcome. So I'm gonna not be super shy about this. I want that color to be brought out. All right, so what do you think? Super cute, right? To finish the card, we're not gonna go wild and crazy. We're ready to kind of get started, and then you can figure out how your card is going to finish. I'm going to work through using the washi tape yet. If I can get a glue that works. We'll see. I have 3 of them here. Should be able to get one of them too. There we go. Yay. And I do have my refills. I've been using those for a lot of swaps too. So now that I have plenty of Stampin' Seal, I'm good to go. All right, so I have layered the 3x3 square onto 3 1/8 by 3 1/8, and then here is our piece of white that we're going to put a strip of the washi tape down. I am a little colorful here. I'll just wipe off my fingers on my chamois. But here's the washi. It's, I want to say it's 3.5 inches wide. And I'm going to take it the length of my paper. You can cut it. You can, I'm going to grab my scissors here. You can cut it. You can tear it however you want. I'm just going to cut that. And I have, this is vinyl here, so it was really easy to just pull off of there. If you put it on paper, you might have a little bit harder time getting it off. But now we're going to add this. And what I like about having the vinyl paper is I can kind of lay it down here. Let's see what kind of, okay. Can kind of lay it down and pull it up and lay it down and pull it up, and it's going to work. Okay, now just smooth out. And then you can either cut it or fold it over, which is what I'm choosing to do here. Just fold it over. And then we're going to add that to our card base, which in this case is some Lost Lagoon. So we're going to add adhesive to the back. Okay. And then I'm going to take some ribbon. This is one of my favorite ribbons, which is kind of weird because it's just a plain white ribbon, but I love white ribbon, and I think sometimes we don't carry a whole lot of white ribbon, and so this one is like, I feel like I have to hoard it because I'm like, what if we won't have white ribbon ever again? You know that's not true. I know that's not true. But this, I could very easily have taken a Lost Lagoon Stampin' Blend, and actually I didn't get it very tight. A Lost Lagoon Stampin' Blend, I can tighten it later actually. And colored it, but I wanted to leave it white. And then we're going to add this as a pop-up here. And you can see now the colors are coming together a little bit more. Hello, Stampin' Dimensionals. Where have you been all my life? The colors are the same in the washi as I used, except for that little pop of crushed curry for my flowers. So it is matchy-matchy. So let's just add dimensionals here. Then we just need a sentiment. I'll show you what we're going to do for that. Okay, so we're going to pop that up. I will tighten the knot later. For now, it's going to be what it is. Okay, just tuck that over. And then we're going to take our 1 3/4 inch. Nope, that's not what I want. That's not what I want. That's not what I want. I want this. Our 3 banner punch and the thank you. I love this punch. It is so easy to use, so versatile, and you don't need a Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine for it, which I do love those. However, sometimes it's nice to have just a sentiment or a punch you can just pop out of paper real quickly. So I'm going to do the thank you with Lost Lagoon ink, and we'll pop that right out. Love that punch. It's got all the things, all the possibilities there. And then we're going to just lift that up. So we kind of have a double dimensional here. One on our wreath and one on our banner. And I will finish it off with a couple of rhinestones, but I see the time, so I will add those on my own time. But that just gives you a little bit of an idea of something fun you can do with your new Stampin' Positioner. Being able to stamp in a circle. If you wanted to do all flowers, you could do a flower wreath. You could do more flowers and less leaves. I wanted to do more flowers because of the washi, or more leaves because of the washi tape. And it's just a cool possibility for your positioner. All you have to do is create that square on your paper that is underneath. I did 2 of them to show you just quickly other possibilities that you could do even more stamping if your images are smaller. But this, love that technique, and I really feel like the wreaths can be all different seasons and holidays. And so it's fun. If you changed up the colors here and did, you know, in the fall colors of leaves, it would be a great fall card as well. You would just change the background there. So really unique, really different, and a really cool technique that you can do with that positioner. All right, I'm going to flip the camera back. I think. There we go. We have coming up a fantastic opportunity, I think, that is for my 25th Stampiversary celebration, which comes up at the end of April. And I am in the initial process of planning, but it will be an in-person event and a virtual event. And you will be able to take part in either and or, because they will be at different times. And so it's going to be a lot of fun, I think, and a great way for us to spend some time together, a little bit longer time together. And I just want to celebrate everything. I'm so grateful for being here as a demonstrator and being able to share what I love with people that I appreciate so much. So watch for those details to come soon. But in the meantime, I'm really not offering much in the way of classes except for a mini album class. So you can go check that out. I will actually be sharing that mini album probably over the weekend or shortly thereafter. For sure, I will have it during What's Up Stampers next week, so you can come and see what that cool mini album looks like. And other than that, I will not be holding any virtual classes. I will be doing What's Up Stampers, and I will be doing Stamp Together Saturday, but no virtual classes outside of those 2 things. So Thanks for joining me tonight. I will see you again Saturday morning. I will be live on location. Can't wait. All right. Have a good night.